Tuesday, February 4th, 2020. City of Somerton City Council Meeting. Today we have special guest, EDS Students of the Month, and also the robotics team from ALC. They're going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please come forward. Everybody here? See the more over there. One, two, three.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we have a special gift for you, and also would like to read an excerpt for the robotics team. The ELC is proud to present the 2019-2020 robotics team. We have 12 students who have worked diligently to prepare to compete. This year they won the Champions Award in Yuma, where they competed against 34 regional teams. Wow, congratulations. They also had the opportunity to represent Somerton in the state championship, competing on January 19, 2020. There are students who have been at ELC since we started robotics and engineering programs throughout the day and after school. We are very proud of our team and how they have done. Congratulations. And also the Student of the Month, it takes hard work. I know there's 3 R's that you need to go by. What are they?
Respectful, responsible, and reliable.
Yes, and it takes hard work. It's not just getting good grades, but having the discipline too, and paying attention to your teachers. So we have here this video of Somerton. You can put it in the room or wherever. First, the robotics team, Ricardo Ayala. Ricky Gutierrez. Arifet Ramirez. Karen Rubio. Enrique Flores. Olivia Segovia. César García. Justin Bacanel. Michael Anderson. Ray Buchanan. Diego Roldán. Anybody from the robotics? Penelope. CDS, Aldo Solís. Anaí Padilla. Arlet Villarreal. Arceli Madrid. Aileen Quintero. Denise López. Juliana Rodríguez. Denise López. Giselle Ayala. anybody? We're gonna take a picture. Yeah, so.
Can we scoot back? Scoot back? Scoot back? Scoot back?
Right there.
Scoot in this way? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Miguel.
Congratulations, students and parents. Good job. Roll call.
Mayor Gerardo Anaya.
Present.
Vice Mayor Martha Garcia. Councilman Miguel Villalpando. Councilman Carlos Gonzalez. Councilman Luis Galindo. Councilman Jesus Rodan. Councilman Juan Castillo.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Call to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to address council? Speaking to the public. Moving on to consent agenda. Item number 1. Minutes for regular council meeting of January 7, 2020. Minutes for work session of January 21, 2020. 2007. Minutes for regular council meeting from January 21st, 2020. Any member of council wishing to remove an item from consent agenda? Is there a motion? It's a motion by Councilman Galindo, second by Councilman Rodan. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Moving on, new business. Item number 1, discussion and possible action to proclaim February 2020 as Black History Month in the city of Somerton.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, February 1st marks the beginning of Black History Month. Each year, Americans set aside a few weeks to focus their historical insight on the contributions that people of African descent have made to this country. You have the proclamation in your packet, and the recommended action is for the mayor of the city of Somerton to proclaim February 2020 as Black History Month in the city of Somerton.
Is there a motion? So motion by Councilman Gonzalez, second by Councilman Castillo. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Whereas during Black History Month, we celebrate the many achievements and contributions made by African Americans to economy, cultural, spiritual, and political development. And whereas in 1915, Dr. Carter Goodwin Woodson, noted Black scholar and son of former slaves, founded the Association for the Study of African American life and history. And whereas Dr. Woodson initiated Black History Week February 12, 1926, and for many years the second week of February chosen to coincide with the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, was celebrated by African Americans in the United States. And whereas in 1976, as part of the nation's bicentennial Black History Week, was expanded and became established as Black History Month, and is now celebrated all over North America. And whereas after Civil War, many Black Americans sought a better life free from oppression and in search of new economic opportunities and the liberty to create their own lives. And whereas many African American settlers found their way to the Grand Canyon State, where they have made invaluable contributions in many professions and fields that continue to enrich the history and culture of the community. And whereas the observance of Black History Month calls our nation's attention to the continued need to battle racism and to build society that lives up to its democratic ideals. Now therefore, I, Mayor Gerardo Naya, Mayor of Somerton, on behalf of the citizens of Somerton, do hereby proclaim February 2020 as Black History Month in the city of Somerton, and urge all citizens to celebrate a diverse heritage and culture and continue our efforts to create a world that is more just, peaceful, and prosperous for all. Item number 2, review and possible appointment of Arturo Magaña Amaya to the Planning and Zoning Commission for the remainder of term 2020-2021.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. With the resignation of 3 Planning and Zoning Commissioners in 2019, we have 3 vacant seats. We haven't been able to receive all but 1 letter of intent by Mr. Magaña hereby tonight, and I would like to recommend council to appoint Mr. Arturo Magaña Amaya for the Planning and Zoning Commission for the remainder of the term 2019-2021. If you have any questions for me or for Mr. Magaña, he's here tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Magaña, for volunteering. I've known Mr. Magaña for years, and the Sun Devil,
and also a lumberjack.
with your bachelor's is in planning, right, or urban planning?
Urban planning and cultural anthropology, so kind of tie that together. Pero ya son dos.
Any questions for Mr. Magaña? You want to say a few words?
I just want to say thank you, Carmen. I appreciate everybody's consideration. It means a lot to me. I think it's a rare thing to have planning commissions. I think it's very valuable because planning decisions are very political and affect a lot of people. And I just want to say I appreciate consideration.
Is there a motion to appoint Mr. Magaña? Is the motion by Councilman Rendon? Second by Councilman Villalpando. Those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you, everybody.
Item number 3, review quarterly revenues and expenditures in preparation for the 2021 budget.
Good evening, Mayor, Council members, Zarina Gallegos, Finance Director. How are you this evening? I hope you're well. I'm going to pull up my presentation in just a second. Okay, so I know it says quarterly financial presentation, but I decided to go ahead and combine the first and second quarters to give you an overview of where we are as of December 31st. So what are we looking for in a financial overview? Things that, the factors that we take into account are timing of revenues and expenditures. Certain revenues are recorded on an accrual basis, other revenues are recorded on a cash basis. And so those are the things that we should be looking for that may skew the numbers from one direction to the other. And you'll see what I'm referring to when I go forward and you see the tables. So I put together a couple slides for you with regards to the general fund, other governmental funds, as well as our enterprise funds. So this is a table of the revenues that we've earned through December 31st of 2019. So you'll see that we have the budget, the benchmark, which is essentially the budget divided by 12 months and then multiplied by 6 months. So it's half of the budget for tax revenues, intergovernmental revenues, and at the end you have our benchmark percentage. So you'll notice that in our tax and intergovernmental revenues, we're a little shy. So right now we're about 78% in tax revenues and 81% in intergovernmental revenues. But that's because we were a month behind. So our December December sales tax revenue, shared sales tax revenue from the state, all those come in January. So that's why you'll see that we're kind of we're a little behind in those. But everywhere else, it looks like we're pretty much on target for. We're at 82%, so that's rather good when you take into account that there are some revenues that won't be reflected up until January. So the one notable item that I thought would be worth bringing to your attention would be the fact that over the last 5 years, our tax revenue has increased at about 26%. For local and state shared. So that's excellent. That means that the economy is good. Our residents are spending money here and within the state. So that's favorable. This is a chart of the expenditures compared to budget. As you can see, there is still a whole 6 months of expenditures that haven't been recorded, and projects that still have to be finished, some that haven't even started. So so we are trending rather well given that. This is the general fund. So ideally it consists of 15 departments, 15 main cost centers. That's the word I was looking for. Cost centers. So as you can see, we have done some budget amendments for the COLA, for compression, and for our new city attorney's department. So you'll see that reflected from contingency. So the COLA was 96,000, 92,000 of that 117, 92,600, and the additional compression pay was about 25,000. And so what happened was I moved budget from contingency into those different cost centers in order to accommodate for that change. There are also a couple of items that I would like to bring to your attention, such as some of our expenditures happen in the first half of the year and others happen in the last half of the year. That's why you'll see the variance in percentages. For example, administration is a great example. In the administration department is where our insurance is paid, our liability insurance. And within these numbers, we're including 3/4 of our liability insurance because that's due in December. So that's why you'll see a higher percentage in administration, as well as in other category. In your budget, for example, your two main events, the two main events that are supported by mayor and council happen in the fall, the Corn Festival and the Tamal Festival. So that's why you'll see an increase in your expenditures at that point in time. Next quarter, you'll also see an increase in the debt service fund because our debt service is due in January. So I just wanted to give you a little feedback as to these numbers. And let's see. This is our HERF and other governmental funds. So HERF is our other major governmental fund, and as you can see, at least as it relates to HERF, we're doing very well in our revenues. We've received a bit more from the state, and we're trending well in our expenditures as well. Mainly due to several projects that will come to fruition in the spring. You'll also see the fees, the development fee revenues that we've earned through December. We haven't had a significant amount of expenditures over the fall for development fees. However, our unaudited development fee balance is about $740,000, which goes towards any items that are included in the IIP. So I will move forward into our enterprise funds. Our enterprise funds look a lot better. We are trending right where we should be with our water, wastewater, sanitation revenues. You'll see that there is a little lag in the water expenditure in our water enterprise fund in the expenditure side, simply because the one of the tanks, that CIP hasn't really started. So a lot of the expenditures will be coming to fruition in the spring and summer months. With regards to development fee, we're also trending. With regards to our wastewater development fee, we're also trending well. There's really nothing that stands out to me in preparation for the 2021 budget. And with that, I will entertain any questions that you may have.
So which line items are for development fees here?
Okay, so on the enterprise, right here, you'll see development fees at the bottom, development fees, wastewater, revenues, and expenditures. So the last two lines are revenues, are the budgeted, benchmark, and actual, and how much we've collected for development fees is $82,302 through December. That's for just the enterprise side. The governmental side was on the other slide, if you'd like to look at that a little bit. Yes? Okay.
Which line item is that?
Okay, so the parks revenue and parks expenditure is development fee. The public safety revenue and public safety expenditure is development fee. And the transportation revenue and transportation expenditures, all 6 of those are development fees. And the reason I broke them out separately was so that you can, because they were in 2019, they were all in one fund. And it was very difficult to keep track and actually provide you with a fund balance when everything is all together. So I've broken them out individually so that each type of development fee has its own fund, and I can just at a glance let you know, okay, for parks development fee we have $300,000, et cetera, et cetera. So it made it a lot easier for us tracking purposes and to make, ensure that the expenditures were going to the right place.
What's the fund balance for the parks revenue, the development fee?
So this is an unaudited amount, number, so if there are any, there might be some small changes that could happen, but for the parks development fee, I have $312,000 currently in fund balance as of July 1st, as of July 1st.
And I don't know if, this is a discussion for later, but we have identified projects to start using those development fees are identified IIP. Maybe they're not, maybe we can amend the IIP. And I know there's a statute that regulates that, but there is funding there, and hopefully we start identifying using the revenue for it. The other question, I have on those governmental and tax revenues. Do you have an idea of what they're going to be? Or is there any concern there that when we get those revenues, or is there anything that stands out?
Well, so so we're trending right where we should actually, we're trending a little bit over, which is good because, right, if you look at this slide, we are as of December and we're at 78%. So when you add the revenues that we received at the end of January, then that puts us right where we should be with regards to the tax revenues, which have increased over the last 5 years about 26%, which is fantastic, which is it's really good. So I do expect for us to receive the full extent of what we've budgeted for tax and intergovernmental fees. So it's just a matter of the state remitting that to us.
Any questions? Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Item number 4, discussion and possible action to authorize the mayor to sign a letter opposing House Bills HB 2030 and HB 2456.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Arizona House of Representatives member John Fillmore has introduced 2 new bills, HB 2030 and HB 2458. HB 2030 proposes to transfer the jurisdiction over the ports of entry from ADOT, Arizona Department of Transportation, and place them under the Department of Public Safety. HB 2458 seeks to place all of ADOT's enforcement division under the Department of Public Safety. GYEDC, the Greater Human Economic Development Corporation, who prepared this letter, does not see a need for this transfer in jurisdiction. Their experience and working relationship with ADOT and its enforcement division has proven to be highly productive and one that they value greatly as they implement a number of economic development and growth strategies in our area. According to GYEDC, HB 2458 simply takes all of ADOT enforcement and transfers it to DPS. There does not appear to be any advantage or gain to this transfer, yet many initiatives that GYEDC is working on with ADOT could be in jeopardy should this transfer take place. So, recommended actions are authorized the mayor to sign a letter opposing these House bills. I did notice a typo in the letter where they refer to HB as HP, as in Peter, but we will fix that assuming the council decides to authorize the mayor to execute this letter.
Any questions? Is there a motion? Motion by Vice Mayor Garcia, second by Councilmember Galindo. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, discussion and possible action to reappoint Ian McGahey as the City of Somerton representative on the Yuma County Intergovernmental Public Transportation.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, the City of Somerton is a member of the Yuma County Intergovernmental Public Transportation Authority, YSIPTA, and is represented by me, City Manager, on the YSIPTA Board of Directors. My 5-year term expires February 28th of this year. It's previously held by Bill Lee, the previous City Manager. The recommended action is to reappoint myself as the City of Somerton representative on the Yuma County Intergovernmental Public Transportation Authority Board of Directors. And you'll see in your packet a list of the other board members and also the bylaws that explain the terms and membership.
Any questions, comments? Is there a motion? So moved. A motion by Councilmember O'Donnell. Second by Councilman Gonzalez. Those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And before we go into executive session, we have 2 items. We're gonna go around and summary of current events or future agenda items by council.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, there's been a few developments since 2 weeks ago when Vice Mayor Garcia and I had a brief conversation with Governor Ducey about the Somerton High School. The governor has accepted the resignation of School Facilities Board Executive Director Paul Michaelis and put Department of Administration Director Andy Tobin in his place on an interim basis. A couple days later, Mr. Tobin traveled to Yuma with his assistant to meet with Yuma Union High School District representatives, Mayor Anaya and me. It was a good meeting. I think the mayor would agree, and Mr. Tobin was definitely sympathetic to our cause. The SFB, the School Facilities Board meeting that was scheduled for tomorrow in Phoenix, has been postponed 1 week. The reason given is for Mr. Tobin to get his feet wet, get acquainted with the issues in front of the board. It's unclear at this point exactly what the next steps will be. Of course, we continue to be in contact with district officials, and I'll of course keep you updated on any developments as they happen. And one new development that I got wind of after 5 today is that the Yuma County Board of Supervisors unanimously approved a letter and signed a letter to Governor Ducey supporting the Somerton High School. And you'll see that in your inbox next time you check your email. The City of Somerton intends to apply for fiscal year 2019 CDBG funds from Arizona Department of Housing State Special Projects SSP account. The awards for that grant are up to $300,000. CDBG funds must be used to benefit low-income persons in areas, alleviate slum and blight, or address urgent need. A public hearing will be held to gather citizen input on the use of CDBG SSP funds on Wednesday, February 19th at 6 p.m. here at City Hall. Council does not need to be present. Examples of possible uses of SSP funding include public facilities and improvements, community facilities, housing, economic development, and engineering plans, architecture plans, and environmental review records. I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this next name correctly. Regina Twomey, the APS Community Affairs Manager, Regina, is inviting council members to tour the Palo Verde nuclear power plant. I've emailed each of you information on the various dates available. I did the tour last year. I believe Mr. Tapia did as well. And I don't know what you say, Hector. It's hard to even put into words. It's very impressive. Incredible experience, incredible tour. So if you're interested, reach out directly to Regina and she'll accommodate your dates. I attended the Pet Palooza and Add to Art events over the weekend here in Somerton, and I just wanted to thank the staff across multiple departments. I don't know if we have a department that wasn't in some way involved in the Pet Palooza event. So thank you for your hard work in making that event, the Act Art event, successful. Certainly also want to acknowledge the staff that helped out with the census booth to help continue to build awareness on how important the census is for our community. And as you may be aware, we're going to be shooting a short video starring you later tonight after the executive session. So get ready for that, and we're going to help spread the word. So with that, Mr. Meza, you're in closest one.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, attendees. Jesus Mesa, Parks and Recreation Director. The Parks Department right now has a few projects going on. Just to stand out as the new two Parks employees, Charles and Alberto. They've been good additions to the department. They started last Monday, January 27th. They already showed a lot of initiative. They helped us in the Pet Palooza, running some of the activities like the fishing derby, and they have a lot of vitality. The tops for Sanguinetti Park for the tables arrived today. They're set to be installed by the end of this week, which have a chess type of design for any of the users who have some fun and have more features for the park. So, and this is one of the best parks we have, very well kept. And for the rec, we're going to start some free baseball clinics. We started the promotion a lot earlier. They're going to be led by Juan Lopez and the recreation division. And there's some plans for the baseball and start promoting it a little bit earlier. Any question? No. The programming for the yearly calendar is set to come out next week, with the calendar activities for the whole year, which we're going to forward to the district for the IGA we have with them, so they have all the information when we need the fields, the days, the times. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule on that end. And the events it was a success for the art department. We were able to pull it off, and they were running around with short staff and all that, but it was a success thanks to the whole team. Everybody was on board helping one way or another, and I thank the support of all the departments, which were of great help. And the Greater Days is moving forward. We're going to start the promotion by the end of this week. The publicity, basically the design is ready. We met already with some sponsors for in-kind for media support, and it's gonna shaping up very well. I know the RFPs for the audio production are due this week, which is one of the bigger expenses for that event, and we're gonna go down a notch on the audio, just so everybody knows. We're planning to save some money on the audio production for this year, make it grow. We wanted to be more visible here in the community and position that event as one of the bigger events here in the region, in the county, of course, and then later go up a notch again to the regular production that you see in most of the other bigger events. The money that we save, we're going to be using it for some marketing part of it, which is going to be around $3,500, and those $3,500 are going to be squeezed because we're getting a lot of in-kind support due to the marketing agency that we're working with, which is Casey Hoffman from Yuma. She has a lot of experience, over 30 years of marketing here, and she gets the bang for the buck. So that's basically about it, and other projects, and I'm going to forward it on the weekly report.
Council. Just to update you, since I asked for permission to apply for the two grants, both grants have opened. Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety opened up the application process, and so did FEMA. And Vice Mayor Garcia informed me that there's another grant that's opened up, the Siren Act, and they funded it, but they haven't opened it yet. So we'll see what happens with that. So we'll be applying for those. And also, some of you may be aware, some of you may not be aware, but I wrote a letter to Gina Thompson, the Yuma Union High School superintendent, regarding the danger of continuing to bus students unnecessarily to COFA when we could have our own high school here. So just in case you hear anything, I wrote the letter. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So real quick, we have our Citizens Academy starting this Thursday. The last time we had a Citizens Academy was in 2011, so we're very excited about it. Our officers are very excited to share information to the public. Our last Teen Academy was in 2014, so we only had two at that time. So we're very excited. We're inviting. I sent an email to the city manager inviting you guys this Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to have about 15 citizens that are going to be showing up. Mayor and everybody here is invited to show up to greet our citizens and make them feel welcome. You know, this is something that we provide, the city provides to them in education and law enforcement. The other thing is our officers have been going through qualifications, handgun qualifications. This is an annual qualification they have to do every year that has to cover their handguns, their rifles, their shotguns, and some judgmental shooting. In the next month or so, we're going to set up with Border Patrol to do the VITRA, which is computerized technology judgmental shooting, and we'd like to invite some of you guys, whoever would like to come. Very interesting, very down to earth. It opens up your eyes. So if any of you are interested, send me an email and we'll sign you up for that. It's nothing scary. They'll put a little box in the back of your belt or your belt or your pants. And if you fail to shoot, then you get a little buzz. It hurts a little bit, nothing major, but you're more than welcome to come join us. Should be something fun, reminding you of the quick moments that the officers have to make a death and life decision. And the last thing is that we've been working closely with tribal police and FILA from tribal, FILA, and fire chief as well. We've been working closely to put together a mock active shooter. I'll give you better dates later on, but this is something that's gonna involve tribal, probably the casino, and Somerton police. So there's going to be a lot of people involved. We'll give you more information as that is happening. It's going to involve at least 60 people, a lot of our explorers, fire explorers. So it's going to be something big. We'll keep you posted. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have two ongoing projects, construction projects, subdivision, Valle Sol Phase 3 and Amanecer Townhomes on Crane. Those two projects are moving forward. Amanecer with the paving and grading, and Valle Sol with the utilities. We also have the County 16 water main extension project is 100% completed. We received the as-built plans for that project, so with that is basically done. On this project, we also received the 100% design plans for the continuation of this line along Avenue B from County 16 going south about 1,200 feet for the new storage development. So we received those plans, and those are under review. On the Zocalo Gardens project, the CDBG project, the pre-construction meeting was held last week, CEMEX. The plan is to begin construction February 11th, so basically the next week. Also, we met with ADEQ for the water extension line along Highway 95 to serve the Valle Vista project. We met with ADEQ, Lima County Department of Housing, and ADEQ consultant. This was a field meeting. It was a really productive meeting with a consultant. We go through possible issues with the water users because we need to cross the canal and we need to cross the main drain. So, but this project is moving forward according to the consultant. This design can be ready in the next three months. Thank you.
Mayor and council members, an update of the Act 2 art that we have on Sunday. It was every time we have something new, like an event, as you know, it's always a challenge. We have a lot of vendors, but some of the locals may not, attend it. It was not as expected, but it's still good. One of these events, these kind of events are recommended to do it in downtowns always because of the farmer markets. Eventually, once they get in place for a while, people start getting used to it. But this event is a little more regional, and it was produced by Yuma Business Bureau. They do it in Redwood, in Yuma, and Somerton. But probably next time, our goal is to maybe in the future create our own Somerton the farmers market. I was in San Francisco just a couple of weeks ago, and every Sunday they have a farmers market. And what they do in that case in San Francisco area, they have local farmers. So they bring every Sunday they bring their own products. Honey, they have apples, they have oranges, vegetables. But in here, in Somerton, we have a commercial farmers. It's a little different. But we can try it in the near future. Try to have a farmer market and see how it works. But it's always recommended to have something like this in downtowns. As I mentioned in the last meeting in Michoacana, they already signed the business signed the contract, and the property owner signed the contract also. So now the architect is working on the building design for the corner. So hopefully we'll see something in a few weeks. But they already signed, so it's coming for sure. On Sunset, I have a meeting tomorrow with them. As you know, they're very concerned about the cost of the infrastructure. And it was an initial misunderstanding about how much they were supposed to pay for the water and sewer lines. So Carmen, Sam, and myself are working on calculations for the impact fees related to the infrastructure development, for the extending the water lines from Cesar Chavez all the way to the property, the city property, the 20 acres, and also the sewer improvements. So we are working on creating a benefit area, and the cost, the proposal that we're working on is to create a benefit area and cut the overall cost per acre. So instead of a one first development trying to pay everything for the whole infrastructure, it's going to be shared by different developers or developers. The preliminary the calculation that we have is about $0.3 million to extend the water line and also to have the sewer infrastructure, which also includes the high school, the lift station, location right in the middle, and to have a force main and also a gravity line going south. So some calculated the numbers based on existing unit, the cost, the unit cost for the water lines and also for the sewer. So based on those numbers, we have a very good idea how much. So now the next step, I'm gonna meet with the Sunset and also with a commercial developer. We are waiting for these numbers, so they want to know how much is going to be their share. So it's a pretty critical phase right now because they're really nervous about how much they have to pay. So that will be our next meeting that we have with them. For the commercial development, it's going to be next week, and tomorrow I'm setting up a meeting with the Sunset. As you know, I'm working also on the City Hall site. There's going to be a discussion in a few minutes. One of the things I wanted to mention also that as part of the budget, as you know, the state law was passed last year to collect online transactions. So now, don't feel sorry or bad about telling your neighbors or citizens of Somerton to go shop in Amazon. Because actually when you shop in Amazon right now, the sales tax is going to come to Somerton. That's why you see an increase now in the sales tax collections, because the state miscalculated the potential revenues. Actually they're getting a lot more money at the state level from the online transactions. And I was looking at some of the numbers for Somerton, and Somerton is also getting some of the share. So it's okay now to go online and buy your clothes or anything, so Somerton is going to get a share of the online transactions. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Council, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council members, over the last couple of weeks, I've been working to get the 2021 budget started and get the 2021 budget open in Casal so that we're able to go in and provide estimates for you by hopefully the retreat. We'll be scheduling meetings with all the department heads so we can be prepared for the retreat. Also, I'd like to thank Hector for including me in the meeting for the benefit areas. That provides me a better understanding of the expectation with regards to capital improvements going forward, those benefit areas, the allocation of revenue that we may receive going forward, and the amount we'll have to figure out how to fund for these capital improvements. So I really appreciate that. That helps. I've also met with Yuma County regarding additional debt, and a couple of my colleagues around the region. So in preparation for our park in the fall. So I also wanted to let you know I will be out of town. I'm going to the GFOAZ conference from Tuesday afternoon to Friday. So that's all I have for you. Thank you.
Mayor and Council, we continue working with the 2020 General Plan update. We have an upcoming work session with you, with Council, on February the 18th. It's going to be after the next regular meeting. And this is the consulting firm is going to be here that night and to present you with the update at where we are at this point and the steps that we need to continue to finalize this project. We also have a community workshop on February 19th, which is the day after of the work session. And this is going to be the last community workshop. It's going to be held here from 5:30 to 7:30. And this is going to be the opportunity for the residents to take a look at what we have gathered as far as information and updates to this document. And also for our residents to submit their comments, their concerns, and whatnot. We are still within the 60-day review period. This is the very important, this is the critical period that we put this document out there. It's in the webpage, and we are inviting the residents and everyone who wishes to take a look at the document, at the goals that we have there, the plans that we have for the next 10 years, and let us know if this is what they want, what our residents want Somerton to look, to grow, to develop in the next 10 years. So this is very important for us. It's the guide of the city for growth, for development within the next 10 years. So it's a very important document. Another important document that we are working on is the infill incentive overlay plan. We presented to you at a work session at the previous meeting. And now we are working on scheduling community meetings or public meetings. We would like to present this document to each of the 3 districts that we are proposing, to give the opportunity to the property owners to review what we are proposing, and also for them to submit comments and concerns, questions, and whatnot for you when we come to you for the adoption process. So we are putting this information together, these meeting dates together, and hopefully we're going to get a good turnout of people and ask a lot of questions for that particular plan. And lastly, as Ian mentioned a little while ago, we continue working with the 2020 census operation. We have been present at the various city events. We were at the Pet Palooza on Saturday, and we also were at the From Ag to Art event on Sunday. This is the outreach phase, this is the educational phase, moving on to very quickly into the March 12th through April 1st window, which is the time that our residents need to go out there, whether phone, email, regular mail, or online to fill out the questionnaires. We want to ensure that every single resident out there knows and understand the importance of this operation. It's in the benefit for everybody here in Somerton. So we want you to, all of us, to invite our friends, family, neighbors, and whatnot to do this. This is very important, and it's good for the next 10 years. So we are here to ensure that we do everything that is in our power to to have an accurate count. Thank you.
That's it from the staff, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Castillo.
I have nothing, Mayor.
I just want to say that I'm glad I'm back. I know there's been a lot of speculations, like if I was out of town, during the party in Mexico City, in Aguato. Actually, I was sick. I had medical issues, but I'm glad I'm here and I miss you guys. So, glad I'm back. I'm not 100% yet, but I'm here.
Vice Mayor.
I spoke to Representative Fernandez, State Representative Fernandez, and she mentioned that she spoke to Mr. Tobin as well regarding the Somerton High School, and as you guys have mentioned, it was pretty promising as well. She said she would keep us updated on any information that she received. So spoke to COCOPA Chairwoman Cordova, and she has informed me that they have sent a letter to the governor as well. They supported Somerton High School. I informed them that the meeting was postponed and they're welcome to join us around the agenda next week. I attended the YMPO meeting. It was a nice welcome. It was mentioned that Somerton is up for the chair position because last year it was skipped, and Somerton was vice chair. Everybody was in consensus that because we were skipped last year, that Somerton would take the chairmanship this year, so we'll be wanting to do it this year. That's it.
Councilman Galindo. Councilman Roland.
I was at the one meeting yesterday with the Union County, and it was nice to see someone, people from Furios also in support of the high school, and talking to the board and letting them know that they need to support us at all times, and they're very aware of all these things, and so it was nice to see that. Also, I was part of the meeting for the Valley Vista water connection, and we're looking forward for that. ADQ is very forward for this project, and they want to finish it as fast as within a year. They want to do the engineering within 3 months, they said, so that's pretty fast. And I think also is going to help the city with the line connected all the way to the Valley Vista, open up for going for all the future development.
Well, the high school has probably dominated all this last couple of weeks. It's been a roller coaster. We got bad news, and we got some positive news, and and one of the things that I informed Mr. Tobin was, he said he was concerned about student safety, and he did mention that the chief, has been updating us in the last couple of years. So thank you, Chief, for writing the letter, because that was a concern with the new interim director. And called a meeting with the mayors, and they also we wrote a letter, and Mayor Nichols delivered it to the governor. So we've been working on it, and I've been calling all the representatives whenever I ask council members that if we go to one conference, it's the League of Cities, because that right here it can help. I just have a lot of the representatives and state senators on social media, and you develop those relationships. That's the value of it, not necessarily. There's good value in the sessions, but it's just the networking. You call them up, you build a relationship, and that's what's important as council members, is those state, going out of conference for going out of state for state is nice, and you learn, but the most important one is Arizona League of Cities, and it showed just having those relationships. I felt comfortable. I've talked to those representatives, and and just reaching out because they're the ones that control money at the state, and that's the important right here. So again, I ask, check August, Arizona League of Cities. Hopefully we have more than 1 or 2 members going, and prioritize that because that right there is, and it shows right here. Because you can get the phone, call them on Facebook and Instagram. Not Slack probably, but you know, and others. But yeah, that's where the value of those relationships. Because they know where Somerton is. Many of them, they tell where Somerton is, and you know, especially probably state senators are more aware where Somerton is, but mayors don't. And that's so you call everybody, and they call their reps, and that's the network that you know. And I hope that you have relationships. Vice Mayor would talk to Charlene, and Charlene has been Fernandez. She's been great, and you know she did inform me of that meeting with Tobin and said it was positive. So still, you know, be calling, and hopefully we get enough people to talk to our reps, to whoever for something, because there might be some other approach to this, and this is school facility. And I couldn't attend the Pet Palooza. My wife got me tickets for the Phoenix Open, so it was really good. And that's it. We have 2 items in the executive session. One, discussion and consultation with the City of Somerton, representative of legal counsel concerning negotiations for purchase of sale or lease of real property belonging to the City of Somerton located at 150 North State. Item number 2, discussion or consultation with attorneys of the City of Somerton in order to consider its position and instruct its attorneys regarding settlement negotiations discussion conducted in order to resolve litigation in the police overtime plan. We have a motion to adjourn to executive session. A motion by by Vice Mayor Garcia, second by Councilmember Castillo. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Gonna take a 5-minute break.